I want to talk about being a bit inconvenient and being someone that speaks very honestly and probably sometimes quite bluntly if you're very passionate about something. In the music industry, there's lots of people that have opinions, want to push you in certain directions, maybe want you to do press for something that you're not into doing press for, or for a magazine you're not a fan of, or whatever. How do you cope with those awkward conversations where you have to be like, no, I don't want to do that? Do you find that stressful, or?
No, not for me. I mean, no. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So it's like this, and I did this in my last band, and I'm not even gonna say who it was, but I sat down, and we were doing an interview, and I was like, look, you can, off the record or whatever, I know you don't know about my band. I know you don't really care about my band. I can feel it. I can see you've said like 3 things that are incorrect about my band. It's fine. I think it's actually better that we don't continue, because this is not going to be good for you or me.
Yeah.
It's understanding the outcome, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going to go in there, and sometimes it can change for sure, but for me, I just don't have it in me anymore to pretend like this is something I can contribute to. You know, and if it's like, especially if there's like, if it's moral or ethical and it's very clear, like there's a lot of things we don't do. But also conversely, there are some things that I do involve myself with that seem antithetical or diametric because I want to give the other side or another type of opinion, or be the challenge to maybe that outlet, or meet the challenge to that ideology or whatever. But when it comes to, yeah, man, if I don't believe in something, if I don't think something's right, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that I'm right, but I do need to open the conversation. Right. And if I'm I don't know, like that's not opening shit, right? Like that's not. No one's gonna go, oh well, then let's talk about it. No, they're just gonna keep going with their opinion. Yeah. They're gonna keep going with what they think is what needs to be said and how it needs to be said and for what form and what outlet, whatever. And then in that case, you really just kept it one-sided. Yeah. And I just would like things to be open when they can be. How do you like? What is it about? Why do you feel that you can't or don't want to?
I guess I've always been someone that's been labelled, I guess, easygoing, or maybe a doormat even. So, and I think when you suddenly go, actually, I don't want to be that person anymore, and I want to stand up for myself, because it's such a stark contrast to the person you were for so many years. Right. Suddenly people are like, what's happened to Sophie? Why is she suddenly having an opinion on something? Right. And they make you feel really bad about that, and then you retreat again. And then you're like, oh no, it's fine. Right. I think also being a female in the music industry, just asking to get paid for work, suddenly, oh, she's difficult, and you're like, no, I just want to get paid for my job. And then you retreat again, and then it's tricky. If you're not naturally someone that backs themselves or stands up for themselves for various reasons, or as a result of past things, it's hard to become that person and stay being that person.
What do you think? What do you think is like an answer to that? What is the answer to that? Like, because I get it. I totally get it. I was that guy. I was so chill. Like when I was young, or I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. I mean, I stood up what I believed in always, but yeah, there would be things, actually not even that long ago, my last band, that were happening to me that everyone around me was going, why are you letting them do this to you? Like, why are you continuing this tour with shingles and everyone's getting paid, but you're having to pay all your fucking hospital bills? Like all these crazy things, but me being like, no, if I don't do it, but what's the answer to, what do you think the answer is to, okay, so they've said this to you now, and now you retreat. Do you retreat, try again, or do you retreat, reassess, and go, okay, this is what I need to do so that next time they hit me with this shit, I'm not retreating? You know, what do you think that is?
I feel like I should definitely keep trying, because I'm not a quitter, and I don't like the idea that I've given up. But at the same time, sometimes it's about the environments you're in, and if they're not going to change and the people within them aren't going to change, you're just going to have the same scenario keep happening. And how many times can you be? So do you take yourself out of that and go, I'm going to go in a better environment where I don't have to deal with that again? Yeah. So that's the constant conversation you have, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, did that. That's why I'm here. That's
Yeah.
why I'm doing this project now. I needed to be in a better environment to do what I needed to do, what I thought I needed to do, and to be around people that supported me not only in my artistic endeavors but me personally and emotionally. I think it's really important. And when you're saying that, and I look at you, and we're talking, I can like almost like see it because I was there, and now, especially now, I just feel like there's no room for that in one's life if all you're trying to do ultimately is just make sure that you're in a good place to be able to do what you need to do and also to help others, which I'm assuming that's what you do. I mean, I've studied what you do, and I've seen your pages and seen your interviews and and had discussions with you, and for no reason do I think anybody should really question that, other than them maybe having a misunderstanding of what you do. But ultimately, I think that it makes complete sense that you would ask for things like payment for work, or
just to cover travel. Like literally, I lose money every time I do an interview,
right?
And you don't get it back from anyone else paying you to do an interview. That's what I mean. And it's like I do it because I want to do it. And it's important to me, but at the same time, it doesn't always feel right or fair necessarily.
We live in a Western world, right? Like capitalism is in fact a pillar. And whether we like it or not, whether we support it, whether we catalyze it, whether we condemn it, it is what it is, unless we go and live off the grid in the forest somewhere. But we don't. Clearly we don't. We're using cameras and we're talking. We'll be on the internet after this. And, I think that people should understand that, people watching as well, you, me, people should understand that there is a worth in your time. What you do and what you say will affect someone somewhere, somehow, in some way. And whatever you think that's worth, sometimes people have a delusional idea of what they think it is worth, and some have something that might actually be quite underestimated. But somewhere in between, there is a worth that you should receive and you should have fulfilled because of what you do and why you do it. And I feel like what you do and why you do it is, again, only to help. And I feel like this is the fucked up thing that we're dealing with right now. There's so many people that want to fucking help. There's teachers, there's volunteers, there's charities, there's nonprofits, there's people that just fucking walk down the street and do something for nothing.
Yeah.
And we're not paying, not only are we not paying, currency, funds, compensation, we're not paying any fucking attention.
Yeah.
We're not paying attention to these people. We go, oh, that was sick, I'm gonna like that on, even if you might not even fucking like it on Instagram. Like this is we've gone so far, we've become so detached from the understanding of what it really takes to do these sort of things, is that we think it's okay to fucking underpay teachers, the ones that your children are staying with most of the day and most of their fucking lives until they become adults. Think of how twisted that is. Think of how twisted that is.
Yeah.
Your kids, my kids, are gonna be with teachers more of their lives than they will be with me until they're fucking 18. Then they go to college, and then they become adults, and then they have, by way of the government and free will, I suppose, and they get to, become legal adults and do things. But that's just fucking crazy. So we think, when we as parents, we're complaining about, and now I can say this as a parent, it's crazy. We're complaining about rates of depression. We're complaining about violence in schools. We're complaining about bullying. But we're not thinking about where we can fucking put ourselves or our money, because I believe, again, in a Western world, capitalist world, if you want something to change, you have to attack the money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to attack the money. Or you don't go and buy that $6 coffee every day, and maybe you cut it down to half the week, and you give some fucking money to the school. And I know people are gonna feel weird about this, and they're gonna be like, "What is he talking about? He doesn't what?" But I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like that's you know what I'm saying. Like that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. And I know some parents work their fucking asses off. My parents worked their fucking asses off, and they did everything they could to just keep us in school. Now I'm in a position where my parents, my family, we never owned anything. Never owned a house. We always rented. We were in apartments. We were sharing rooms. I'm about to buy a house. And for me to be able to be in a position where I can buy a house, but then fucking, if I'm going to complain about my school and then not do anything about it, I think it's hypocritical almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's counterintuitive. I think that you need to understand what you have and what power you possess. Even if it's your fucking mouth, even if it's your eyes, your mind, whatever it is, you can use that. And I know this is super tangential. I know that I just like went somewhere else. But I just want people to understand that the things that we lament, we can change. I mean, we really can.
Yeah. We
really can. I just signed a petition today to hopefully, and then I'm going to call Texas legislation and local government to help free this man who's slated to be killed in 16 days for a crime that really looks like he did not commit. I mean,
he's not the only one. There's so many of those stories as well, and it's ridiculous.
And I'm not saying I can go there and tell them, hold a person's hand on the fucking electric chair and say don't do it, but I can call. Yeah. I can call. You can fucking like and scroll through Instagram for hours and hours and do this and look at this and laugh at this and talk shit about this, but you can't go and fucking literally click a petition to save a man. Like, where are we? What's going on?
This is my biggest bugbear about modern times, because I agree we need escapism. Escapism is important.
Totally.
But that can't be everything, and that can't be all you do. If you've got a platform, use it.
Yeah, man. And everyone does now. Everyone has a platform now in a lot of ways. Yeah. Some different sizes than others. But I don't know, man. And I don't know, I just get so worked up when we talk about these things.
Yeah, sorry. Right, but you're going to be really fired up.
Yeah, tonight will be great. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, Sophie. It's just super interesting. What do you, again, what, if you could, if you had like the opportunity to change the way that we utilize social media, what would you do? Like if you were told,
if I was in control,
it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's such a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because then I become this person that's dictating what people should do, which I'm not actually about. I don't want to be a dictator.
Sure.
But I feel like a certain percentage of your time online should be constructive. And productive in terms of the world as a whole. And maybe there should be some sort of time thing where you can only use this time to do research or look into politics or the environment or educate yourself.
You would just encourage
but maybe
an area to...
Maybe there needs to be some reason you have to do it. I don't know. It's hard though, isn't it? Because I feel like we're so far gone with social media, we can't really control what's happening, but we can just kind of guide and try and push people, nudge them in the right direction. But I don't know, what would you do? Something a bit more revolutionary?
No, actually, no. I think that you're absolutely right. To me, that was like one of a series of perfect answers. I'm sure there's other ones that someone would say, and I go, "That's perfect." But that's pretty perfect. And I love the way you started it. And this is what I'm talking about. Understanding our imposition, what we're imposing upon people. The fact that you're like, I wouldn't want to be a dictator. That's all I needed to hear. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. Honestly, of course not. Of course we can't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't want to tell people what they need to do. But we should encourage and encourage something that is going to be not only beneficial to them. Well, when you find something beneficial to you, if you're like the nucleus of this new wave of social media, and it's beneficial to you, it's encouraging to others to be better, right? So I think that I would create a space on social media for people to, going back to our last interview, to explain themselves, express themselves, but also I would have a space where, in that same space, I would encourage these people to discuss what they're going to do to change that, what they're going to do to change the things that they feel bad about.
That's key, isn't it? Actually, what you're going to do about it.
What are we going to do? I think that when we surround ourselves in misery, which I am totally someone who's done it, and I think it almost normalizes our behavior in a way that becomes detrimental to our health and getting better. And I just want people to know that while we are it is standard to feel these feelings. It really is. And the fact that people that society, a lot of societies have tried to quell, I think that we need to make it very clear that we can also change them. And not just like, tomorrow it's gonna be sunny and it's gonna be okay, like, because that's also bullshit.
Oh, I find the inspiring quote thing, it does nothing for me personally.
Yeah, the inspiring quote, exactly. Maybe there's a moment that you needed to hear it
at a certain time.
Yeah. Sick. I'm so with that. That's tight, and I back that. But then it's the application. It's like, all right, I feel this thing, and once you feel that, okay. So if you are someone that feels the quotes, in that moment, take whatever that is, that serotonin, that dopamine, that thing that makes you feel good for a second, take that and apply it to something, anything that might make you feel better. And then you start learning a behavior. Now you have a new pattern. Well, you can initiate a new pattern, hopefully. And then understand that when you fall back down, coming back to that place, even if the fall was quite great, the journey back up, even the journey back up there, should still be satisfying and enjoyable in ways, knowing that you're doing this to help your own mental health, emotional, spiritual health, and understanding that a lot of these things are just moments in time. A lot of them, like the worst things in the world, sometimes for me, were just moments in time.
It's so hard when you're in that irrational state, though, to remember that, isn't it? Like you think, no, this is forever.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
I remember one time, something had happened to me. I was with like one of my ex-girlfriends, and I was like really unhealthy, and like actually with my physical health, and I was with her for a moment, and everything literally around me just like went black, and I couldn't really even hear what she was saying anymore after she said these things that like crushed me. And then the next thing I knew, I was somewhere else, like a couple blocks away, on this tree, on the ground, with like ants all over me. And I don't remember going from her house to the tree like that. Well, it was on the ground, so I must have like fallen or passed out or something. I had like some really crazy blackout moment. And I remember going, I must have felt so fucking gnarly in between here and her house, but I don't really remember that anymore. And I remember how I feel now. I feel like total shit. This is crazy. And I was like numb for like 2 weeks. I remember just going like, okay, this is fucked. I never really want to give so much to someone that they could take it away and make me just want to not do anything. And then the next day happened, and the next day, and then eventually I had to say to myself, fuck man, I need to have this kind of power over myself the way that someone else does. Right?
That is a soundbite I need to watch.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think about that, right? Like, why do we allow people to have that kind of power over ourselves, but then we don't give it to ourselves? You know, but the thing is they don't have the power. We have allotted it to them. We've given them that power. Yeah, you've given that to them. And of course you've had to possess that initially. So I don't know, man. I think that the moment in time thing, is just understanding that at some point we have to understand our culpability. You have to understand like what we're responsible for. I'm sorry, guys.
But we've been nattering for ages.
Okay.
God. Typical.
Sorry. But yeah, I think that there's a responsibility that we hold, and it's we can't control what people are going to make us feel like. Oh, I'm sorry. What people are going to try to do to us to make us feel like. But we do have control at times how we react after the moment. Not during the moment. Sometimes it's irrational. It's fully irrational, and I've snapped plenty of times. But afterwards, it's trying to regain and recollect and sort of recharge that power that we gave to them in the first place.
I'm still doing that, like years on from someone that I used to be with, like 10 years ago. It's a long process sometimes.
Trust me, I know. I had this girl would come into my dreams years later and make me feel like trash the rest of the day.
Yeah, they haunt you, don't they?
They fucking haunt you. They do. I've been doing a lot of mindfulness study, and
I've studied mindfulness as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? And just like all the way down to your physical self, what you can achieve through mindfulness and meditation. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that's more of a tool, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's one way to look at it, you know.
I should probably end the interview with something that your PR will be happy about me mentioning. Shall we mention the Wreckords Crew collective and get that in there?
Yeah.
We should, because I imagine it's because you've been in the industry for a number of years, you know how it functions, which isn't very well a lot of the time in unfair ways. Yeah. And you want to give people, you know, what they deserve from the transactions that are going on.
Yeah, that's it. It really is it. Okay. I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, this industry is fucked up. Yeah. It's fucked up. It doesn't care about you. Yeah. Motherfucking, this industry don't give a fuck about you. Yeah. Don't give a fuck about me. It doesn't. It wants to move units, make money, get likes on Instagram, get followers, move the metrics, capitalize on that, monetize you. And once you start doing shit that they don't understand or they don't get or doesn't make sense to them, I don't give a fuck about you.
Dropped from the label.
It's a wrap.
Debt.
It's a wrap. Yeah. And they won't even let you know until it's too late, until you're out the door. So that's what it is.
So what are you doing differently, or how are you going to be helping the artists?
Oh, I give a fuck about my artists. I give
a fuck.
And it's very simple. Yeah, none of this is about money for me. I think if you're dope, I think if you do the right thing, I think if you're honest, I think if you're creative, money will come, because that's sort of an inherent byproduct of being good. And naturally making sure that what you do is honest and authentic and accessible to more. Accessible and relatable and represents more than just yourself. So I think that making sure that these artists that we deal with are not, drowned by the debts that they incur via me as an owner of this collective. I want to make sure that we guide them, we help them with the art, and also we create a culture of people that believe that we need more than just us to create something significant and worthwhile. And in doing this collective, this 333 Wreckords Crew, everyone that we involve ourselves with, there's a reason for it. And that's why we've been touring by ourselves for 2 years. It's because eventually I want to start taking out bands and when people do, they go, damn, by the time we take out a band, it'll be 3 years in or so. And they're going to go, well, they toured for 3 years with nobody. Why is this one band the band they take out? Now they're getting attention. Now because we have proven ourselves to all these venues how much we're worth, I can say, I'd like an extra 1,000 pounds instead of an extra 50 fucking pounds, which is what these fucking bands are getting, 50 to 100 pounds to travel around the fucking country.
It doesn't even cover any of their costs.
Zero.
They're in debt each time.
They barely fucking eat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to go venue or promoter, I want 1,000 pounds on top of, whatever to give straight to this band. I want to do that outside of this person so they don't get a cut. I want to do this. I'm going to give this to the band. I'll hand it to them in their fucking hands. I'll put it straight in their fucking hands. I'll do that. I'll do it so we're not even signing anything, and I'll put it into their fucking hands. I do not think that that's how you develop art. That's how you crush art. And all you're doing is casting a wide fucking net and hoping that one of them trout are the biggest one that win the competition, and the rest can get fucked. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy. And again, that's a super crass way to put it, but I think it's very crass industry. So with 333 Wreckords Crew, it's just about development. It's about belief. And it's about creating a culture. Like I said, we got women involved, people of color involved, people from all around the world involved, and just people that I think are dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and hopefully it will trickle down. People will be inspired to go, we should try that. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Exactly. I want people to know you can do this too. Yeah. You don't need to be told, oh, you got to go out with 4 other bands so that you can make this tour sell out. We sold most of this tour is sold out. I know. I saw on the poster. Yeah, and I'm not. It's not to be like y'all did that. People that come here, y'all did that because you believe in something. It's not the bands. So these industries shouldn't be telling bands. These industries should be telling the fans what they should be doing in order to make sure they make that quota. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's antiquated. It's archaic, and it doesn't fucking work anymore. So. That's what we're basically the antithesis to all of that. We want more culture, less corporate. That's right. Basically, that's right. We? Yeah, we would love that. Yeah. Well, I should probably wrap this up before we Hamish Yeah, sorry.
Thank you once again for chatting to me,
Always.
and hopefully see you in another 5 months.
Let's do it. Let's do it again. I'll be back next summer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.